Hi everyone, and welcome to my coloring corner. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Friday. Of course, it is fun stuff and flips and fun stuff Friday. And of course, we've only got fun stuff today. So if you have been watching, I'm already put one video out today, and this is going to be number 2. And we're going to look at the Flowood colored pencils, which are 72 colored expert colored pencils. I have done a little bit of research on them, and they do say on the website, like on the Amazon website, that they are an oil-based pencil. They did have a little bit of an odor when I opened them, but other than that, they weren't too bad. They have 3 little trays, and they all have these little elastics. Be careful with the elastics in the first tray when you first pick them up. Mine were not in there properly, so they fell right out as soon as I tried to pick up the tray, and I felt like I was going to drop the tray on its head. So all of the pencils seem to be in their color families, which is really nice. We are going to do the swatching for these. So I hope you have a drink, have some lunch. Well, it won't take that long. I will, of course, speed that up and add a little bit of music for you, and I will go through and swatch these, and I will be back. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Well, that wasn't too bad. We've gone through and we've swatched these, and I have the swatch right here. And I'm going to switch you over to the other camera because it does seem to give you a better idea of what the colors are. So there's a white here, and then there's a really, really, really pale ivory color. And then there's a nice skin tone color, a gold and a silver, a peachy, almost a salmon pink, some yellows from the light yellows into the dark yellows, into the oranges, and into the reds. They've got quite a few reds. I'm really surprised with how many reds are in this package. Into the pinks, and a lot of greens. There is a ton of greens in this. Everything from the palest of pale greens here, almost a yellow, but it's got a green tint to it, into the darker greens, into the pea greens, like almost an olive green, into the really dark greens, into the ocean color greens, and the blue greens, into the blues, and into the purples. And then we have the purples into the browns, and it has a really good set of browns too. It goes from the tanny, almost yellow browns into the red browns, into a couple of purpley colors that I'm not quite sure why they'd be into the browns, but they are in the brown family. I looked it up because it was bothering me. And down into the darker browns. And this one here, I don't know. I have seen it in the browns in several different sets, and I'm not sure why, but it is in the browns in several different sets. And then into the goldy browns, into the darker wood browns like walnut and stuff like that. And then into the grays and into the blacks. And this has two different kinds of black in it too, which is really cool. And like I said to you before, I feel that this set or this company is priming to get ready to open a 120 set. I'm going to switch you back over to the big camera here. Because it does go from 1 all the way up to 120, but there's numbers missing in between, which tells me that this is possibly going to be expanded upon into a 120 set. I looked everywhere and I could not find a 120 set of these. So that may be coming in the future, which is kind of cool. It'd be great if they brought out a 120 set because, yeah, my full set syndrome is sitting there going, give me 120, give me 120. I need all the colors. But this has a great selection of colors. It is a nice, compact little box. It's not a huge box like some of the 72 colored pencils. You get 2 trays of a really long box. And this is quite compact, which is really kind of cool. It does remind me a lot of the Huey colored pencils in its design and function. Now there is 3 trays of pencils in this box. So there's the browns, the greens, the blues, and all of that. So I've taken them out and we'll take a look. And I haven't sharpened any of these, but I didn't see during the swatch, I didn't see any of the woods too high up. This one here is a little bit higher than I would like it to be, but I'll give it a quick sharpen and see if it's just the way that it was sharpening, the way that it was sharpened in the factory. So I gave it a quick sharpen and it is just the way it was sharpened in the factory. It is a little bit off center, but not horribly. So it sharpened up quite nice into a very, very, very sharp point, which is great. And we will sharpen quite a few more of them in order to do our coloring and to check them out for coloring. There's a couple that are a little bit wonky, like this one here. It seems like it's got a bit of a curve to the end of the tip. So we'll give it a sharpen and see if it's just something that was done in the factory as well. And that's exactly what it was, is it was just off from the factory. All in all, I'm really pleased with this set of pencils, with just doing the swatches with them. I did find they were a little scratchy, and I'm not sure if that was just because I hadn't sharpened them and they've coated them, because that will happen if they've coated them. They are dusty, like the barrels and everything else feel dusty when you first get them. Once you wipe them down, they're very smooth. But to start off with, they felt really dusty. A little bit dirty. But all in all, let's take a look at how they color. So we have our color sheet here that Radu Phrase has given us in our Facebook group. And we're going to color a couple of these pictures depending upon how long it takes us to color them. I don't want to be here all day with you on it because, as you know, I have one more video left to do. So let's take a look at the colors that we have. And I've got pencils everywhere now, so I'm going to see what I can do to move things around a little bit. Try to keep them in color order and still be able to reach them. So I've got those, 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to put this one here. And put this one in there. Put that one back in its box. And then I can reach it up there. Those are the dark browns and that sort of thing, so probably won't be using them very much. Maybe on a bell or something if we do a bell. So we did this stocking with the color, with the pens, the woodless pencils. Sorry, my brain just for some reason completely went blank there for a moment. And the Arteza gel pens, which is really cool. They are really lovely. I was able to get a good sparkle on there, as you can see. And now that it's dried quite a bit, you can see the shine on those metallics a little better too, which is really cool. All right, so which one should we do? Should we just go to the next one or should we go to a different sock? Well, let's go to this one because it's got a lot of different colors. A lot of different colors that are needed in it. So we've got a gold pencil here. So let's take a look at it and give it a sharpen. Now, I am not particularly fond of gold pencils. Most of them are very brown. And this gold pencil is a little bit in between. So we'll see how that goes. Let's give that a bit of a try. And it is coming off as a really nice yellow, and that scratch has gone. So it's not as scratchy on this paper as it was on the paper from the coloring book, which is what I did the swatch on. So that's really good too. Now, if you wanted to, you could put down a gray first in order to give it that, that dimension, or a brown. A nice reddy brown would give it that dimension as well. So I'm going to just go over this, and I will go over it with a bit of reddy brown and see if we can give it that that dimension that I was talking about. So as you can see, they are going down quite nicely and quite well. And if you already have watched the other video, I will let you know that my husband wasn't on his way home. He just wanted to say hello, which is great for husbands. Okay, so that went down quite nicely. Now I'm going to go into the browns area, and I think I'm going to grab number 92, which is a very reddy brown. So let's grab that one, which is this one, and we'll give it a sharpen. And we'll see if we can give it that little bit of dimension that we want to give it. Maybe I should grab the chocolate brown too. What number would that be? I think that would be probably, yeah, I think number 102 as well, which is this one. And I have kept them all in their numeric order because they do not have, they are not listed in color order at all. So none of the pencils have color names on them. So trying to find them once I put them into a pencil bag may be difficult with not having any color names on them if I was to take them out of their numeric order. So as you can see, I'm just adding that dark brown right into the line, which is actually working out quite well to give it that dimension, because I want to make that ribbon on there look a little bit higher than the rest of the area. Same with the star here. I want it to look a little bit higher than the rest of the bell. I want to make it look like they were placed on the bell, not a part of the bell. Okay, so we're going to take this reddy brown. We're just going to give a little bit more tarnish to it, I guess is the word. Now I have used a gold pencil, so the tarnish is already there. If I was using a yellow pencil, I would extend this a lot further. But because I've already used a gold pencil, I don't really need to put a whole lot of tarnish in it. Just enough that it looks like it's on a different dimension, a different level than the embellishments. So I'm just taking my gold pencil again and I'm filling it in and I'm blending all of those different colors together. And they are blending beautifully. Nice and soft, no scratching once I sharpen them, so it must be a coating that is on the pencil. And some manufacturers do that, some don't. I like to do the swatches right out of the box because a lot of them say they're pre-sharpened and ready to color straight out of the box. And I want to be able to say, okay, yes, they were good to color right out of the box, or if they weren't good to color right out of the box, and that sort of thing. These worked quite well right out of the box. However, they work a lot better now that I've sharpened them. Now I'm going to do the same thing in here. Just going to go through and I'm going to color the bell part. And then I'll give the dimension of the embellishments. So I hope you all enjoyed the previous video. It was a lot of fun to work with those woodless color pencils. I was quite surprised on how easy they were to use. I don't know why I was surprised by that. You would think it's just a colored pencil. But for some reason my brain went to the neos and stuff like that, the water crayons and stuff like that. And they weren't like that at all, which is really, really cool. Okay, so I've got the base down there. Now I'm going to take this dark one and I'm just going to gently go around all of the areas that I know are going to be a different color, just to give it that raised look, because I want that gold to look like it's lower than everything else. Now I'm just going to go around these circles as well. And when you go around a circle like this or something like this that is really, really going to be close together, don't worry about touching those dark areas together, because it's just a tarnish area between them. All right. Just going to go in the shoulder here a little bit, up into the arch. Then I'm going to take this reddy brown color, and we're just going to fill it in. Just cover every area that's going to have a shadowy effect. And we'll go over that with the gold again and blend it all together. All right. Sorry about that. So we're just going to blend that all together. And it starts looking like it's lower than the rest of it. And like I said, this gold does have a bit of a tarnish color in it, so you don't have to put a lot of the tarnish down. And I'm really quite surprised with how scratchy they were when I was coloring the swatch. I was expecting them to be a lot scratchier on this paper, and they're not. They're really, really, really nice. Okay. So now we're just going to do this area down here. Just going to put a thin base coat, and then we'll do the shadows and highlights. And go over it again and blend it all together. Now I'm not going to use a blending pencil on this because I want to see how much of the white spot shows through. And so far, I have very little white spot showing through, which is awesome. But for, a really extremely budget-friendly pencil, these are doing very nicely. They're doing just as well, if not better, than some of the more expensive pencils, which is really kind of cool. Now we're just going to take this chocolatey brown, and we're going to follow the curve. I went out a little too far there, but that's all right. And follow this curve. And I'm just going right around the whole thing and just making sure that every shadow area is going to be covered there so that everything looks like it's above the gold. All right, now we're going to take the red. It's not really red, it's just a brownie red. A little bit darker than a terracotta. A little bit more brown than a terracotta. And then we're going to just take this gold again, and we're just going to blend it all together. And we're just going to pull those colors into the bottom of the bell a little bit. All the way up to the star. Now I am pressing a little hard here, and I probably don't need to. Don't know why I've gotten very heavy-handed today. I was doing that with the woodless pencils too, being very heavy-handed with it. I don't know why. No particular reason. Okay. All right, so we've got 2 more little areas here to do. Hopefully I'm still in your, I know I'm sideways, but I am a flipper. I have to flip my page around so that the part that I'm coloring is pointing towards me, because I'm short and sometimes sitting higher in my chair to reach further is very uncomfortable. So I flip and I turn and I turn and I flip. And I really try not to for you guys so that you can see what I'm doing better, but I have found so far today that this is definitely the best way for you guys to see what I'm doing. So I've done the outline, or done the base coat there, and I'm just going to do the outline. Trying to stick quite close to the black line, if not just stay on top of it. And around the star. And then a bit of the reddy brown. And this I'm bringing out a little bit further. Except for at the very edges, I'm trying to stay as close to the edges as possible. And then we'll go over it with the yellowy brown. Go over it with the gold again. Pull those colors in. And if you find that you have an area that isn't blending very well, use your blender pencil. I'm not going to do that on this because I don't want to lose that metallic shine that may be coming off of this metallic pencil. I find a lot of metallic pencils don't have that shine, so I will take a look at it closer on a brighter light and see if see, there we go. See if that shine's showing through or not. And like I said, I'm just very loosely going over it the first time, giving it that base layer. Then we take the dark. We just stay very close to that ribbon. and around the star. So other than the fact that they are an unknown brand, I wasn't able to find a lot of information or where they're manufactured or if they are an American company. I wasn't able to find any of that information. So I would have to do a little bit more research to give you that kind of info on it. But after a day and a half of research, I wasn't able to find it. So I don't know if that information is available. I know you can contact them through Amazon. They do have an Amazon store, so they do have an Amazon email address. So if you do find that you want to purchase these pencils and want to, and have any problems with them, definitely contact them there. And I will say this again is if you have a set of pencils that you are having problems with, if you're having problems sharpening them, if you're having problems coloring with them, you're not married to them. Yeah, you paid for them, but you have the ability to say, okay, these are terrible, and send them back. And of course, use your best judgment on that. If you really enjoy a set of pencils, even if they are no name brand of pencils, then keep them, use them. As long as you use them and enjoy them, that's pretty much all that matters. All right, so I have gotten that part all done up. Now I'm going to take my brush, if I can find it. I've lost the brush. Uh-oh. There it is. I'm just going to dust it off. There wasn't a whole lot of dust, but I just don't want to end up with it wiped all over the table. So this one is 92, so it goes here. 102 goes there. So I've put away the browns, and we're going to take some of the yellows here. So I'm going to take number 17, which is a very, very dark yellow. And I'm going to take number 10, which is an extremely light yellow. And we're going to go around those stars. First, I'm going to sharpen these up. Number 17 is almost an orange yellow. I'm going to sharpen this one really, really, really fine. Like beautiful fine tip. And the reason why I want it so fine is I'm just going to outline these stars with it. The inside of the stars I will color with this one. There we go. Also fairly nice fine tip. Nothing broke, not loose, which is great. If you can sharpen a pencil to that fine of a tip without having it break or have anything loose in it, then that tells me that your cores are really, really, really nice. Now, I was worried about these pencils when I got them because they were not handled very wonderfully by the courier, whether that it was, I think it was just an Amazon person, but they were, the package was a little bit beat up. The pencils seem to have no problems, but there is a dent in the tin, and the package itself was a little bit what's the word? Worse for wear. Yeah, looked like it had been in a tussle. But at least they weren't looked like they. At least they didn't have the same problems that I had with another package. And the package itself looked like it had been run over. The pencils in the case that they were in were broken in half. So there was a lot of pressure put on it, a lot of damaging pressure put on that poor pencil case. And it was a set of pencils that were in a case, and they were still broken in half. I was quite surprised. Okay, so we've almost got the stars all done here. Looking good. All right. So that is our stars. Now we're going to put those back. And we're going to take a couple of our reds here. I think number 32 and 25. So we've got number 32 and number 25. Again, we're going to give them a sharpen because they're not very sharp. And I think I'm going to actually grab that deep red brown color as well. I think that was number 92. We'll take a look and see, because I want to give it a bit of a shadow. So those sharpened up really nice. And I want this one here, I do believe. Yep. So I've got number 92 here, which is a reddish brown color. And I'm just going to give some little shadow areas. And then I'm going to take this dark brown or dark red. I'm just going to go over and lightly come in. I didn't like the way that brown looks, so I'm just going to do it with this dark red. I'm just going to follow up. The edges here. And bring it in this way a little bit, so that it looks like that center area is a lighter, brighter area, which is what we want it to look like. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this in so tight is I'm going to go over that with this lighter red so that I can combine them together. And we just go like this. Bring that dark in so that they look like they're in a shadow. And then just go over this one here a little bit more. And then we're going to take this one, the orange red, which is number 24. We're just going to fill that rest of that in a little bit, just so it gives it a bit of a light color there. All right, so we're going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to go around the edges. Bring it in. I know this is the part that takes the longest, isn't it? But I like to do it so that you guys can see how they're going down, how they blend together. You can't really see that on a swatch sheet, as far as I'm concerned anyway. You can't see them being blended together, one color into another, on a swatch sheet. You just can't. And I like to give you guys as much information as possible when it comes to buying a set of pencils, to make sure that you're getting all of the information, not just some of it. All right. Now we're going to take that dark one again. And we're just going to fill in this area down here. Make sure that you have all of your areas filled in where you're going to see that shadow. From the sides of whatever it is you're putting there. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing down here. Because this area definitely is going to have a curve. So I'm not going to go too deep into that tip of the bell with my shadow, because I want it to look like it's the part that's hitting as much light as possible. Then we're going to take the orange. And as you can probably see, even the red is doing quite well in eliminating any large amounts of white spot, which is really kind of cool. I think the only amount that you're seeing really is where I've missed coloring it. Okay, so we're almost all done with the ribbons here. And then we'll move on to a different color for the rest of the ribbon. After we finish this part, and I think we're going to do the holly berries the same way. And that's why I turn pages, so I can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. All right. Now, oh, you know what I did? I did that wrong. I used the wrong red for that. I wonder why it looked off. I wasn't using the dark red for it. I was using the light red for it. Can you say scatterbrain? I know I can. Alrighty. Just gonna make sure that we have everything covered and blend it together. Alright, so we've got number 25, 24, and 32. Now we're going to go into the holly, and I should have done the berries before I put those away. Let's pull those back out, 32 and 25. And we're going to put the shadows on these berries. And we're just going to, now I should bring that up a bit. And then we're going to pull it up with the lighter red. Okay, there we go. And of course I will add embellishments later, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oops. Let's put that and that. Now we need, I think, number 44. We're just going to give it a sharpen. I want it to have its best color. And I'm surprised on how long this is taking me, of course. I'm always surprised at how long it takes me to actually color something. I'm just going to do the edges in this light color. All right. And then we're going to take a darker, I think number 49. Give it a sharpen. And of course, I'm not one to pick all my colors first. I never, ever, ever pick all my colors first unless I'm doing like a skin tone or something and I know what I know the pencils really well. And I know exactly what skin tones work really well. Otherwise, I don't have a tendency to pick my colors, which I know is bad, but I also don't write them down and log them when I color a picture either, so it's just not something I enjoy doing. I like looking at a picture going, okay, this needs a bit of this and this needs a bit of that. And I actually like doing that, so I don't enjoy going, okay, though, I need this one to look like this and this one to look like that. It bores me. All right, now we're going to just take this number 53, if I can get it out, which is a medium to light green. And we're going to color all the way in from the dark green. All right. Just try and make sure that the points are showing, because you know how those leaves are. They all have points. Pointy, pointy, pointy. Pointy leaves. And like I said, this isn't a normal color combination that I would normally do, but I like the look of it. I like the look of the colors, so that's what we're going with. I want to try to get as many colors on as possible and see how many of them I can blend together. Okay, so that's that part. Now we're going to take number 54, which is a really, really dark green. And we're going to go around here. And we're just going to put in the shadow areas for this ribbon here, this part of the ribbon. All right, now we're going to take number 45, which is a very nice light green. And we're just going to bring those all together. And of course, if you find that you didn't give enough of the dark green to extend into the light green to make it seamless, you can of course go back over it. Just gently bring it in so that it just combines with those colors and gets rid of that line. And you don't have to do it hard, and just do it lightly enough that it just blends those two lines together and makes it look like a seamless transition. Okay. Now, where's my brush? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these blacks, and I'm going to take the sharpener and sharpen that up nice and tight. Now I'm going to take the silver and give it a sharpen as well. Then we'll quickly take a look at the outcome here because we're almost done. Just going to go just a light coverage, the same as I did with gold. Now with this, it has the metallic shine in it, so it won't need that darker gray color. If you were doing this with grays, you would need to do a black, a dark gray, and a light gray. Now, because this has a metallic shine to it, you don't really need that light gray or the dark gray. You just need the black and the silver. Now I'm just going to take the black and I'm just going to do the same as we did with the green there. Just bring it in together. Like that. And just make sure that you get everything. You know, bring that dark out a little bit. It'll get washed out with the silver when I go over it again. So try to do the same thing with these circles. I'm not very good with drawing circles. I'm not even good with tracing circles. All right. So let's start with the circles and just bring all that into the center. Like I said, with the way that metallic pencils are, you don't really need that light to dark to really dark, because the metallics in the pencils will pick up the outer colors and show a lot darker. Now, there we go. Now, if you find that this is too dark, which I don't, I think it's just fine, you can, of course, take an eraser, take down the silver a little bit, and add a lighter shade of silver. So I'll show you what I mean. It's just go like this. Just take it down to almost the base color that you started out with. Just like that. And it gives it that bit of shine. And you can do the same thing with your yellow here. Just take it down, or your gold, I should say. Just take it down in certain areas to where it's going to shine most. Where you're not going to get as much tarnish or have as much tarnish. All right, so there is our bell. So let's take a look. So we've got a gold metallic, a silver metallic, and then we've got greens, reds, and yellows. So we've covered almost all of the different families, except for, of course, blues. Um, if we wanted to do blues, we'd have to like do a snowflake or something. But all in all, I have not blended any of this beyond blending with just the pencils. And there is none, absolutely zero paper tooth showing through. There's a couple of white spots from where I missed coloring because, yeah, I do that sometimes. But there is not any white spot showing through at all, which is phenomenal. So for these pencils to cover in with that degree of coverage is wonderful, especially with the budget friendliness of these pencils. Like I said, right now, I don't know how long they're going to be this way, but right now you can purchase them and it has a coupon. And with the coupon, it's less than $20 for this 72 pack of pencils. So if you are in the budget for a new set of pencils and a new brand that you want to give it a try, I would definitely say, yeah, do that. For what they are at this point, definitely worth the money. If you wait too long, it's going to have the same effect as it does with every other budget-friendly pencil, is they're going to sell out quickly and the price is going to go up. So definitely take a look at them. If that's something that you want to put on your list this year, then I would say do it quickly. They are going to go quickly. They lay down beautifully, and I'm quite pleased with them. All in all, great set of pencils. So also keep an eye out and see if they do decide to fill in those gaps. Like I said, there's some huge number gaps there. So hopefully they're going to fill in those gaps with new pencils or with one-offs or some other way of filling in those pencils. And none of them broke. They all sharpened quite evenly, like this one and this one are the ones that I have sharpened. So they all seem to sharpen quite evenly. They are coated, completely coated, and they do have the colors at the tips of the pencils. Even if they don't have color names, at least they have pretty close to corresponding colors on the tips. Not much more I can tell you about this set of pencils, other than the fact that they are really nice, especially for the price that I paid for them. And somebody asked me to review them and to give them my honest opinion on whether or not they were worth the money, and if now would be the best time to buy them. And absolutely, I would say now would be a really good time to buy them. They do have a couple of different little foibles, like down here on the yellows. It's a little bit scant on the dip, which is perfectly fine. It's not affecting the pencil in any way at all. Other than that, great set of pencils. So I would definitely endorse these. I would definitely say if you want to buy them now, I would definitely say do so. Other than the fact that there's not a lot of information with these. And I have found with colored pencils that come out that don't have a huge amount of information, do one of two things. Sell out really fast and disappear, or sell out really fast and skyrocket the price. So like I said, I will leave the link in the about section and run out and grab them. I would. All in all, fantastic. Of course, I'm gonna close it at that and hit your like if you enjoyed this video. Of course, leave me a comment if you have any information that I didn't already know, or that that I'm missing, like where to contact these people, where to get further information on them. If you enjoyed the pencils, coloring and that sort of thing, I'm just going to go back over to this camera here so that you can see a little bit better of what we colored, because it's really pretty. It just did beautifully. Can't say enough. Of course, if you're not already member or a subscriber to our channel, please do hit that subscribe button and the bell. I do produce at least one video every day on Fridays. Sometimes it can be 2 or 3 or 4, depending upon how many sets of pencils I get or how many books I get. So Friday is always a busy day, which will take you into the weekend. Saturday this weekend is going to be something extremely special. I'm not going to color. I'm going to take you into my kitchen and we're going to bake cookies, because why not? I need to get it done and I don't mind sharing with you guys. So I will be doing that instead of coloring. And on Sunday is our Christmas bash. Woohoo, woohoo. Of course, I want everybody to come to the Christmas bash, and I want you all to be able to participate in the grand finale prize. And in order to play the grand finale game, you have to have a card. In order to get the card, you have to email me. If you do not email me at the email address that is located on the About page of this channel, I cannot send you a card and you cannot participate in the game. So please, 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 please email me. If I will not be sending out any more cards on the day of the party. I will not be running the party and having a live stream going on and trying to get games done and played, and be trying to email out game cards. So you have today, tomorrow, and that's it. So make sure that you get those emails out to me, because I want everybody to have a chance at playing this game and winning one of our wonderful prizes. With that, I thank you all very much for watching. I wish you all a fantastic day, a wonderful Friday, and I hope to see you tomorrow baking with me. I might even put the recipe up for the cookies we're going to be making. Maybe it's my grandmother's recipe, so I might not share it. All right, guys. Of course, like, comment, and subscribe. Always, always relax, color, and stay safe. Bye-bye for now.